What's up, folks? Positive Paul, and it is Thursday, April 15th, 2021. I was informed that my mother has COVID. She'd already received vaccine. Her birthday's coming up on Saturday. At some point, I guess I'm going to put a call out and wish her well. If you go back and you listen to some of my videos in the beginning of 2019, because I've been reviewing some of them, and some of these videos have no views as the ones that relate to Montauk, other issues concerning the so-called issue of time travel. But one video I noticed from either late 2018 or early 2019 is no longer there, was one of my predictions as it relates to Psalm 90 in the strength by strength 80 years. Now, I guess this video is gonna kind of be a little scatterbrain. I didn't sleep much thinking about, making a phone call, but I'm gonna go back and tell this story again. And there's already a video up from a couple years ago. This occurred in 2018. Probably, I'm pretty sure it was during the summertime. I have to sift through all these videos to find it, but we know that this person we're looking at goes by the name of Bielik. We were informed by certain individuals who aren't nameless that Bielik had passed away in Guadalajara, Mexico, October 11th, 2011. Interestingly enough, if anybody has been paying attention to me, they understand that 2011 was definitely a very interesting year for me concerning my being fully conscious of what happened to me as a kid concerning MK Ultra, satanic ritual abuse. But the point being is, this guy Bielik, who, if we try to understand, coming at it from the angle of a truther, the truth community, the so-called UFO community, the alien agenda, we know Bielik is one of the, I guess, initial deliverer of the message concerning what the so-called elite, the Illuminati, the shadow government, the deep state, what some of their activities have been And the one thing that's still a mystery is why the Philadelphia experiment is connected, goes hand in hand with the Montauk Project. Now, we all know the saying, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And I had used that expression a couple times, and lo and behold, I found one video where Al uses that expression from a 1998 talk out in Australia. And he couldn't settle. He can't settle that issue of what came first, the chicken or the egg, the Philadelphia experiment or Montauk. Now, if someone's paid attention to these people, specifically meaning Al and Preston, remember, Duncan Cameron never really spoke. He just kind of sat there and kept his mouth shut because he understands that, he got himself into a morass of, let's just say, some fibs, some tall tales. Now look, these people are no longer here, but except Stewart, and Stewart never really had much to say as it relates to the Philadelphia experiment. But I'm getting off track. Here's the point, folks, and I want to get back to the story. That this guy Bielik is one of the progenitors of the notion that we have time travel. And how this was accomplished is they want to tell you it's through nuts and bolts technology that exists now. And my counter message is, and was, and has been, that this Illuminati programmer, meaning one of my programmers, a failed programmer, that is, okay, and the whole cadre of the demonic forces that are in play, the Illuminati witches, wherever they are, whoever they are, a lot what's accomplished is through satanic rituals with the types that you read about in Deuteronomy chapter 18, specifically observer of times. So here's the point. I've always stated that these sad sack Satanists, these lapdog Luciferians, these creepy chameleon Canaanites, these dirty dog Draco, reptoid Hollywood hybrid hacks want to know when their demise is. And the spiritual realm that goes against the Holy One of Israel, the divine creator, understands some of the implications. Although, remember, no man knows the day or the hour. So at some point, an event took place, and it became the foundation of what is the Montauk myth concerning what happened, what occurred on August 12th, 1983. Now you can go two routes. You can believe what the disinfo agents have told you, and the baby Draco hybrid James Rink and his cadre of super soldiers, they're all part of that, remember that. Or you essentially can believe me, because right now in the year 2021, on April 15th, I can say with authority and as a matter of fact that this Montauk Project, there were very few people involved. And The survivors, I assume there aren't any, because no one can give the testimony and provide the facts, the documentation like I can. It's all vague testimonies, folks. Nobody can pin down people, places, times, dates. But one of the things Bielik talked about is the ancient Atlantean portal or gateway that's located somewhere off the coast of Venezuela in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, strangely enough, in 1977, I'm pretty sure, I was in Puerto Rico with my family. Not much to be remembered there, but we look about timing, places you were. If you call yourself an SRA survivor, an MK Ultra survivor, you would have been moved around your whole life. You wouldn't have just been stuck in some little pissant hick town in northwest New Jersey, the Illuminati holding pen known as Vernon. You would have been moved around your whole life, moved in and out of places where rituals would have been done, where experimentation, other activities, who knows. And again, remember, I might be getting off track, and I've already stated this could be a scatterbrain video, but the point is back to Bielik, one of my failed Illuminati programmers. How'd he end up in Guadalajara? And I've already asked these questions, folks. I'm repeating myself with this video. That's why you're not allowed to watch me. So here's the story. At some time in the summer of 2018, the gang stalking was at a fever pitch down here in Rosarito Beach, Mexico, as I was trying to give my testimony and they're running around slandering me. And I was on a bus one day, and the bus filled up, and there was one seat left. And interestingly enough, as we approach a bus stop, I see a very large, tall man waiting at the bus stop. An older man, but he was wearing a very thick brown corduroy jacket, all covered up. The only, I'll say, his face, his face was exposed, obviously, no glasses, and his hands. Other than that, he was covered head to toe in clothing, pants, the thick jacket, all that. And the bus approaches the bus stop, and he gets on the bus, and I was like, oh, wow. And of course, the only empty seat was next to me. And this individual, this man who probably was around, say, 6'6", 6'7", 250, who knows, 270 as far as weight, looked, actually, he was definitely older. Could have been in, I'd give him late 70s, 80s type look, but he looked still like you probably didn't want to get in a wrestling match with him. So what this individual did was, of course, he had to sit next to me. And when he sat down, he made sure that he got right up on me, and he proceeded to try to push me up against the side of the bus, meaning the window seat where I was. And what do you think I did, folks? I pushed right back. And if I could have pushed him off that seat, I would have, but I couldn't. because he was pretty powerful. He stood his ground and he took his hand and braced his hand up on the seat to stop me. And then out I heard this come from him. I didn't see his lips move, but a voice that said, "Mexico, huh?" And when he had his hand braced on the seat to keep me in check, he had the ring, a signet ring on his pinky. Interestingly enough, it's the same signet ring that I see on one of my pictures of Uncle Carl from back in the 40s. Now, that was the pretty much our interaction, because what we did is for the next 10 minutes, we got to our destination. Not a word was said on that bus. None of the Mexicans were speaking. It was dead silence the whole way until this creature got off the bus. Now, at that point, I had two choices: to follow him and see what his deal is, or go about my business. I chose to go about my business. But what I will tell you is, I tell you what, the phone was there, but I didn't want to get in this guy's face. I didn't, who knows? But what I will tell you is, this individual looked just like Al Bielik. Just like this person right here, folks. Now, with that being said, I'm going to stop the video here, because what I'm going to expose next destroys everything that's ever been spoken about, this whole alien farce, everything. This Basagio character, I'm about ready to rein in all you freaks that are essentially on the wrong side of things.